Valentina, Aldana. Let's see, Victoria, Mateo, Victoria, and Mateo is the last, as usual.
Uy, siempre es el último.
Okay. And Aldana? Aldana, are you there? No. Pero estaba acá recién, ¿no? ¿O yo vi mal?
Sí, estaba acá.
Pero ¿cómo hago? Mira, toqué acá. Recién estaba, pero ahora no está más. ¿Qué pasa? Qué raro, ¿no? Bueno. Okay, Aldana, and now only Mateo is missing. Ah, ¿qué pasó? No, porque estabas conectado y de golpe desapareciste, por eso.
Ah, es que no sé, no me dejaba entrar, entonces tuve que volver a cerrar y entrar.
Ah, ok. ¿Y qué le pasará a Mateo? A ver. No, Mateo no está. Ya se me cambió el color, pero entonces no. Bueno. Okay, so we were speaking about shin pads. Do you know what part of your body the shin is?
No.
Well, it's part of your leg, between your feet and your knees, the front of your legs. So the pad is that a piece of cloth or a piece of rubber that you put around the front part of your of the bottom part of your legs. Yes, to protect your leg when you are playing what, for instance? When you are playing football or rugby or hockey. Yes? Le pone que la contraseña está mala a Mateo. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Se le manda de nuevo?
Mándame esa foto.
Esperen que no podía entrar Mateo. A ver. Fíjate, Mateo, con esa fotito, a ver, con ese numerito. Bueno. So, to play what sports can we use those shin pads?
Skating.
For skating, yes. Good idea. Have you ever worn them?
Yes, in volley.
Good. All right. Okay. No lo puedo copiar esto. Bueno, so, and what is a wetsuit? Any idea?
El traje para hacer natación.
Well, I don't know what you are talking about, but it's usually a suit that covers all your body, usually. Hello, Mateo. So, it usually covers all your body. It's made like similar to rubber. In Spanish, it is called neoprene. It looks black or gray. And
Para buceo, quizá.
yes, for that, or for skiing in a lake when it is cold, or yes, for diving, as you said. Okay, so that is a wetsuit. Well, and Mateo, we said that shin pads are I can't think of the name in Spanish.
Tobilleras.
Tobish, no. Claro, que le dicen pads, creo también. What you wear to cover the bottom part of your leg, between your knees and your feet. For example, to play football or hockey, those are pads. And wetsuit, traje de neoprene. Okay, let's go to the other part. What is a coach? Or what does a coach do?
Entrenador.
Yes, he trains a sportsman. And an umpire, the last one?
I don't know.
He is the person that, I couldn't hear, what?
Nothing.
Okay, well, the person that controls or that checks that the rules are followed or that the rules are respected or obeyed. That is the function of the umpire. He checks that all the rules are complied with or followed. All right, then actions. You beat someone. When you win the match, it means that you have beaten your opponent, sorry. And then you can, here it says play, win, lose, or draw a match. What can be the result of a match if it is a draw?
Empatar.
Yes, exactly. 5-5, for instance, a draw. Yes, and you can score a goal, or you can also score a point. In some games or matches, you speak of points instead of goals. Well, let's go to B. Is there any other word that you would like to talk about?
No.
No? Do you understand all the others?
Yes.
Okay, well, so B, choose the correct options. Whenever you have the bar, you have to choose the right one. Number 1, yesterday I went to a football match. When United scored a brilliant, what?
Goal.
Goal. Some
Spectators.
Some spectators ran on to the
Pitch.
pitch, and the
Referee.
good referee stopped the game. Good. Anna loves basketball. She was happy when the coach chose her for the
Team.
team. She didn't score any
Point.
points. She helped to
Win.
win the match. No, to win the match, because you beat your opponent, or you beat a team. You beat somebody. Okay. When the tennis player
Beat.
bet his opponent, it is the present and the past are written in the same way, but in infinitive or present it's beat, and in the past it's bet. The same as read, read. So when the tennis player bet his opponent, he threw his
Racket.
on the ground and jumped over the net. Then he shook hands with the other player, and he shook hands
Umpire.
and the umpire. Yes, good. Okay. Well, and here we have a short summary. Rules and obligations: must or have to. In the present, competitors have to run, swim, and cycle long distances. They must put on their helmets. This is a rule. They must put on their helmets. He had to swim this is in the past. He had to swim on his back. Remember that had to is the past of have to and the past of must. If the obligation is in the present, it may be also a negative obligation. For instance, they mustn't stop between each section. And then, no obligation or absence of obligation. They don't have to wear special clothes. That means if they want, they can wear them, but they don't have to. It's not an obligation. If there was no obligation in the past, you say he didn't have to go back. It was not necessary. Okay, well, can you tell me some obligation that you have at home? That is, that your parents want you to do.
I have to do the vacuuming.
Right.
I have to study and get good grades.
Good. Any other obligation because they want you to do that?
I have to.
Habla vos.
Ahora primero.
I have to tidy my room.
Okay, good. And yours?
I have to make my bed.
Very good. So all these are obligations that you have, but because someone wants you to do those things. What about yourself? Is there anything that you feel that you must do at home, but because you think that it is your obligation?
I must study. Do my homework.
Okay.
Salud.
Right. So you feel that that is your obligation, not because they tell you to do that, but because you feel that you must do that. Okay. And let's see, something that you feel that there is no obligation to do, that you may do or not. It's up to you. Is there anything that you don't have to do, but you can do it if you want?
I mustn't washing up.
So you don't have to do the washing up. Yes?
Yes.
If you want to help, you can do it, but you're not obliged to do that. Right. Anything else that you don't have to do?
I don't have to cook always.
I don't always have to cook. Okay. If you want, you can do it. Very good. Okay. And what about when you were about 5 or 8 years old? What didn't you have to do then? That perhaps now you have to, but what didn't you have to do when you were
I didn't have to tidy my room.
Good.
I didn't have to choose my clothes.
My
Clothes.
and now you have to.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. It says here, we often use must or mustn't for written rules. It doesn't matter who imposes the rule. Number 6, complete each gap with one word. Can you understand the word goggles?
Gafas.
Yes. Antiparras, yes. So to protect your eyes for sports or for work, at work. You, only one word it says.
Have to.
You said, can you repeat, Mateo?
You must have to wear.
No, whenever we use must, we don't use have. If we use have, we don't use must. We have to choose between must or have. But we can use it in the negative too. When you go to a swimming pool, do you always wear goggles?
No.
No, so there is no obligation. So?
You must have to wear goggles at a swimming pool?
No. You said just now that when you go to a swimming pool, you don't wear them.
You sometimes have to wear goggles at the swimming pool.
Exactly, you don't have to wear. If you want to, you can wear them, but there is no obligation. Yes? So when there is no obligation, we use don't have to. Okay, you don't have to wear goggles. And somebody said before, I don't have to do the washing up or the washing. Yes, there is no obligation, but you can do it if you want to. Let's see number 3. Mateo?
Basket players don't have to be tall, but they often are.
Very good. They don't have to be tall. It's not an obligation to be tall. And Lana?
Tennis players must use rackets.
Must use rackets.
They must throw or kick the ball. They must throw or kick the ball.
They must throw like that or kick. Must they throw or kick the ball?
They have to throw or kick the ball. They mustn't.
Yes, good.
Sorry.
They mustn't throw or kick the ball because to throw is with your hand. So they mustn't throw or kick the ball. You do that when you are angry, when you are furious, but you mustn't do that. Okay. And in 2012, a Polish football match had Valentina?
A Polish football match had to stop because of a cow on the pitch.
Yes, very good. Because had to stop because of a cow on the pitch. A cow got onto the pitch and they had to stop the match. Right. Number 6, Sophia.
For 2003, cyclists in the Tour
de France
didn't have to wear helmets.
Yes, didn't have to. So absence of obligation, but speaking about the past. Very good. Okay. Take the sentences that are true. Correct the ones that are false. Sometimes there are 2 correct answers. Depends. Is this clear? Landlines. What we call what in Spanish?
Un semáforo.
No, they're speaking about phones. The landline is the telephone that is always at home, probably in the kitchen or in the living room. I don't know if you have one or you don't.
El teléfono de línea.
Exactly, that is a landline. So before mobile phones, people had to use landlines. True. Number 3. When traffic lights turn red, you don't have to stop.
False.
Yes, false. How can you correct it?
When traffic lights turn red, you have to stop.
You have to stop. Okay, in an obligation. Or, here we have, or you must stop. Because as this is like a law, como una ley, then for laws we use must. But you can also use have to, because it's also an obligation. Number 4. What's this? Soga. Can you see this green light? Ah.
Yes.
Well, number 4. You have to text your friends in class. True?
You don't have to text your friends in class.
If we say you don't have to, it means that there is no obligation, but if you want, you can. Is that what you mean?
You must.
Yeah, it's like it isn't a law, you can't. No, it's like you don't have.
You don't have to means that no, there is no obligation, but if you want to do that, you can do it. Well, it shouldn't be like that. How should it be?
You mustn't.
You mustn't. Maybe you don't respect that, but you mustn't text your friends in class. Okay. So it's an obligation, but in the negative. Number 5. Whose turn is it? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Maybe it's true.
Probably it is. Yes, I imagine it's true. If they had a car, they could drive. No test. Number 6.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
No.
Teachers have to wear uniforms.
I think it isn't obligation, so teachers have to wear uniforms.
But you say that it isn't an obligation. So if you say teachers have to, it is an obligation.
Oh.
Teachers don't have to wear any uniforms.
Exactly. Teachers don't have to wear a uniform. Not an, a uniform or uniforms, because they don't have the obligation to wear uniforms. But if someone wants to wear a uniform, well, she can go in a uniform. But there is no obligation, so teachers don't have to wear uniforms. Why do you think we say a uniform and not an uniform? When do we use?
Because it's singular.
Yes, but suppose it is singular. Why a uniform and not an uniform? What is the rule that you know or that we often say?
Que si empieza con vocal, va con an.
Claro. But the fact is, we always say it as you have just said it, but it is not a question of writing. If it starts with a vowel, vocal, a vowel, but speaking about how it sounds, not about how it is written. Si empieza con vocal, pero en cuanto a cómo suena, no en cuanto a cómo se escribe. Esa parte nunca la decimos en la regla. but you is not a vowel. It's a, well, it is not a consonant either, but it is a semi-vowel. So it's not a vowel. Whenever it says you, it isn't a vowel. So that's why it is not an, but a uniform. The same happens, for instance, with, pero claro, it's, there you wouldn't make the mistake because you would say a year. You wouldn't say an year because there, as it is written with Y, you wouldn't make the mistake, but it is the same sound. Year, uniform. Okay, well, let's go to this one. Listen to Harry. Complete the description of Harry's new game. Well, let's see if we listen to it and we complete it. 8, 9, 5. But can you see? Ustedes lo ven, aunque yo lo saque. Is this number 5 or 6?
5.
5, okay. Si no me tengo que parar a prender la luz.
Unit 9. Recording 5. Lesson 9B. Exercise 8. I like the idea of juggling. You know, juggling and running. But it sounds really hard.
Yes, it does. What other sports could go together? What about ice skating and table tennis?
That sounds awful. How would you play it? What would the rules be?
Players have to keep moving around the table, and they have to keep hitting the ball over the net at the same time.
What do they have to do with their bats?
Good question. They mustn't drop them.
Okay. And how do you win? How many points do you have to score? 20?
No, that's too many. Let's say 10.
Fine. And what would you call this new game? Table skating?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Could you answer? Or shall we listen to it again?
Yes.
Okay.
Unit 9. Recording 5. Lesson 9B. Exercise 8. I like the idea of juggling. You know, juggling and running. But it sounds really hard.
Yes, it does. What other sports could go together? What about ice skating and table tennis?
That sounds awful. How would you play it? What would the rules be?
I don't know. Players have to keep moving around the table, and they have to keep hitting the ball over the net at the same time.
Genius. What do they have to do with their bats?
Good question. They mustn't drop them.
Okay. And how do you win? How many points do you have to score? 20?
No, that's too many. Let's say 10.
Fine. And what would you call this new game? Table skating?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. can see they are trying to invent a new game, combining two games that are already known. The game is ice skating and what?
Tennis.
But there was another word before tennis. Tennis is okay, but a word is missing.
Table tennis.
Yes, table tennis. What's that in Spanish?
Ping pong.
Yes, exactly. Players have to were two words there.
To keep
To keep what?
around the table.
You are missing the verb. Have to keep standing.
I don't know.
Not standing, but the opposite.
Running.
Not exactly. It starts with M.
Skating.
Well, yes, skating, but they say to keep moving. Players have to keep moving. In this case, it would be skating, but moving round the table, and they have to what?
The ball over the net.
Yes, the ball, but you are missing a word before that. That was included in number 3 too. I think that we have to listen to it again. It was difficult. Okay, let's see. Let's go again.
Unit 9. Recording 5. Lesson 9. Exercise 8. I like the idea of juggling. You know, juggling and running. But it sounds really hard.
Yes, it does. What other sports could go together? What about ice skating and table tennis?
That sounds awful. How would you play it? What would the rules be?
I don't know. Players have to keep moving around the table and they have to keep hitting the ball over the net at the same time.
Genius. What do they have to do with their bats?
Good question. They mustn't drop them.
Okay. And how do you win? How many points do you have to score? 20?
No, that's too many. Let's say 10.
Fine. And what would you call this new game? Table skating?
Yes, that's it.